People around the world are now turning their eyes toward the United Kingdom to witness the state funeral procession of late Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-reigning monarch who passed away on September 8th at Balmoral Castle after taking the throne for 70 years and 214 days.
And to know further about the funeral procession, we have tonight joining us from London, the former British ambassador to Indonesia, Muazzam Malik. Muazzam, thank you for your time. Your Excellency, now how's the Queen's state funeral procession going on so far?
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you on this sad day for the UK and indeed for many who followed the long reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth around the world. The formal funeral service at Westminster Abbey has concluded, and as you were just showing on your program, the procession is underway through the Mall. There are estimated to be 1 million people lining the streets. And the procession will then proceed through central London and then board a hearse for the journey to Windsor. I think as many of your viewers will have seen, it's a very solemn and moving occasion. There are many dignitaries present from around the world. Indonesia is represented by my good friend, His Excellency the ambassador to the Court of St. James. It's been a very moving service, really the end of an era, 70 years on the throne, and really a moment for reflection for the UK about our place as a country and our future as a country.
Some head of states are also scheduled to attend the funeral, and how's the preparation to welcome them so far? Muazzam.
So the preparations have gone very well. We've had heads of state and heads of government arriving in the UK over the last 48 hours. Of course, many heads of state from countries that are close to the UK, from the Commonwealth and indeed others. There was a banquet last night hosted by His Majesty King Charles, at which many of the heads of government and heads of state were present. And they were there, of course, in Westminster Abbey this morning for the funeral service. So it's been a moment for really the world to come together with the UK to mourn this really remarkable leader for our country. You know, whether you are a monarchist, a supporter of the idea of monarchy, or a Republican in any respect, I think there's great esteem and respect for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth personally and for her long service. And so, you know, many leaders have met her over many, many decades of service in the UK and indeed on her travels. And therefore, there's a great deal of respect. And we've seen that in the presence of many leaders from many countries for the service today.
Now, we see or we witness thousands and thousands of people flocking the streets to bid farewell. Could you share with us some specific nuances that you picked up from there?
Well, the Queen is much loved by her people, and indeed, given 70 years of reign, you know, for many people, she is the monarch that we have known. We have been born and grown up during her reign. And therefore, again, whether you're a Republican, a monarchist, whether you like the royal family or don't like the royal family, invariably there is a great deal of affection for Her Majesty the Queen. A great deal of love for her long presence and her leadership of the country. And so a lot of people have come out on the streets in London, but actually also around the country, in the countries that make up the United Kingdom, in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. You know, many people have come together to recall memories, to share stories, to make new friendships. And so it's been, you know, a big moment of the country coming together around this state funeral and her sad demise.
Now, the Queen passed September the 8th. It's been 10 days to the funeral. So can you tell us today what is like the general consensus of the mood? Is it more moving towards the celebration of a life, or is still talking about being solemn for the passing of the Queen?
Ralph, no, I think the these 10 days have been a mix both of solemnity around her death and her departure, but also a celebration of her reign. And indeed a reflection about the state of our country. So you've got, in various aspects, you've got all of these ideas present in the mood of the country. And today, the state funeral marks the culmination of this period of mourning. And today is a national holiday, so people who are present on the streets of London are there, but equally millions and millions of people up and down the country are watching this procession and the service and the funeral on their television screens. And today we are saying goodbye, but also we're looking forward to the reign of King Charles. But also thinking about the future of our country. And so, there's a great deal of, there's a lot for us to be thinking about. It's a great moment of togetherness for us as a country.
Reflection indeed. We do appreciate you sharing your insights with us on this program. Your Excellency, Muazzam Malik, former British Ambassador to Indonesia. Thank you.